Hola. Gracias por acompañarme esta noche. Me llamo Luna Anata, and I'm so thrilled to be creating these sessions for you. Thank you so much for clicking on my channel. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for allowing me to serve. I hope that you enjoy the session to follow. Before we get into it though, I just want to take a quick moment and thank our sponsor for this video, which is Babbel. Babbel is such a fun and robust language learning app, one of the top language learning apps in the world, and I have thoroughly enjoyed using it over the past few years, and it has tremendously helped me to participate more in conversations with friends, with Spanish-speaking friends, because I chose the Latin American version of Spanish, versus the European version of Spanish. Living in South Florida, this has come in very helpful at times, depending on, if I'm buying something from a shop or ordering some food or just kind of people watching and maybe even a little bit of eavesdropping. But in my personal life, I've really enjoyed this, particularly in conversations with friends. One of my very best girlfriends is from Colombia, so she gets to teach me some stuff, but I'm also, trying to keep up. And of course, I'm not fluent yet, but it is certainly helpful and fun and adds this other quality, like this other level to our friendship together. Whether you want to learn a new language for traveling or to enhance your career or simply for self-improvement, or like me, if you want to connect with a friend or relative in a different way, Babbel is such a great tool for getting you there. Truly, you can start speaking a new language in just 3 weeks. The lessons are designed by real native language speaking teachers. Babbel also offers a 20-day money-back guarantee, so there's no risk. And Babbel is even offering now live classes, and you get 2 free classes with your subscription. Babbel teaches real-world conversations, so what you're learning through Babbel is immediately incredibly useful, preparing you to have practical conversations about travel, food, business, relationships, and more. Babbel also offers different versions or some variety in their subscription offerings, including now a lifetime subscription. Of course, Babbel has a generous offer for my viewers and subscribers. You can click the link in my video description or use the QR code, which I'll place over here, to get 60% off your subscription. Thank you so very much to Babbel for partnering with me on this video and for the service. I've so much enjoyed using this. It's so fun, it's playful. You really don't feel like you're working on it, you're kind of playing on it. At least that's how I feel, and that keeps me going so easily. So thank you so much for that as well. And thank you so very much, viewers and subscribers. I truly couldn't do this without you, and I'm so grateful to you. And now let's get into our session. Hello, and thank you for joining me tonight. Our present circumstances are so heavily influenced by our past, particularly our perception of the past. While these are things we cannot change, they are things we can completely influence. For example, if you see yourself as having a disempowered childhood versus an empowered childhood, a unloving or unsupported childhood versus a loving and stable childhood, those are going to have a great influence on you as you navigate the life ahead. The goals you have, what you feel you're capable of, the support you feel like you have in this world is so much tied to our perception of the past. And while we can't exactly change the past, I can't go back and make your parents better parents, or situations or circumstances not happen or happen for you, what we can do is play in the mental field, in our memories, in our perception of the past. Particularly, we're going to be working with childhood today. That's what my terminology is going to use. But this can be a year ago or anything that has happened to you. We want to reframe how we connect with these memories. We want to play here and use our creator power in how we choose to remember things, and whether you want to work with this as completely shifting like what your memories are, or if you want to shift it just to a empowered perspective. Yeah, I had a lot put on my shoulders as a kid. Yeah, I was forced to grow up, but I probably wouldn't do that to my kid going forward. I wouldn't recommend it. However, I'm going to take that and utilize that as a strength that I have, where I know I can get things done. I know I can rely on myself. It taught me that, is what I'm saying there. Or the avenue of changing your memory, instead of seeing, let's say, your broken household, envisioning through meditation, through a specific time that you decide that you are going to allow yourself to be playful with your memories, to see a loving household, perhaps a unified household, tons of food in the kitchen, a warm hug every day when you got home from school, compassion, understanding, listening, mentorship, abundance, like having what you need in your household, then I'm going to invite you to play with that as well. So thank you so very much for joining me tonight. I'm very excited for this session. It's very powerful. These are all things that I work with myself on both sides of the spectrum here, from just the perspective shifting to the truly manipulating my memories. And I want to be very clear here. This isn't denying what has happened to us or anything like that. It's about empowering ourselves in this moment. It's a more or less therapeutic approach to working with our minds to heal ourselves, to be the best that we can be, to change how we perceive ourselves, to shift our identities, to transform, to grow. This can be a very helpful tool. So again, I'm very excited to connect with you over this, and we can get into our session after I introduce myself, just in case. So hello, thanks again for joining me tonight. I go by Luna Nate here on YouTube and in my work. My name is Jillian, and I am a Reiki Master teacher and student of the esoteric, the therapeutic, the self-development, the self-help in a variety of mediums, and Reiki is one of those for me. So I'm very honored to be creating a space on the internet for you to have an experience for yourself. You can use this for meditation, before sleep, upon waking, or really any time that you're carving out a little time for yourself. Even if you're doing some chores or something, it's perfectly okay, as long as you have an intention to connect with this, as in an intention to let it serve you, is what I mean by that. To take anything from this experience to better you, to support you, really is the overall goal here, of course. And if you're open to the concept of energy work by proxy, you can utilize this as an energy work by proxy session. Meaning I have this set up here with microphones for your ears, a lens for your eyes, and a tripod for the length of your form. And this is what I'm focusing on as best as I can, as if we were in person. So if you're open to that, all you have to do is set an intention to allow yourself to receive exactly what is right for you, whatever will serve you, whatever your highest intelligence would, let's say, agree to or sign off on, and take it from there. You can't overdo these sessions. You could truly listen to it over and over if it was serving you, or have it on a loop at night, or do it every day, or just once, whatever feels good for you. However, typically in energy work, it is suggested that if this is something you're truly working on, doing it at least 3 times would be the recommendation, and fairly close together if possible. I want to invite you to please leave a comment below. I love reading your comments. I read every single one. I'm so grateful. Truly, cup runneth over when I read the comments. So if you have any questions, or if you think there's anything I could answer, please, the comments are a great space for that. So thank you so much. If you want to support the channel, Patreon for now is a great way. You can also make donations through my website if you like that. As well as, if you resonate with me as a Reiki teacher, I have my classes available on Teachable now, so people can go at their own pace. And I'm so grateful for everyone who has signed up. It's such a pleasure and honor to pass on not only the traditional teachings of Reiki, but also my own experiences and how, what I've learned along the way, working with clients, hosting sessions, etc. So thank you for that. All right, so we're gonna get into our session. I've already lit our candles. We have 5 candles lit today. I'm wearing my scorpion, my scorpion attire, because I want to bring in and honor and declare that we're working with a really great transformation here. And Scorpio and 5 is are both very transformative energies of change. And what we want to be acknowledging here is that as we're addressing our past, great shifts, great change happens now and for our future. All right, so I'm going to set an intention just to declare my benevolence and my honor of your free will. So on behalf of the highest and greatest good and in perfect comfort and alignment is my intention to serve today and support you in whatever way I can. Our declaration here is that we're going to be working with our past, not denying who we are, not denying the strengths that we have collected from our past. However, acknowledging that being playful, that being a creator, that being an empowered person, we are allowed to manipulate, and I mean that in the highest sense of the word, what we remember, what we connect with, how we see ourselves for the purpose of our personal truth, right? Being who you were truly meant to be, who you choose to be, and all the manifestations, all the love, all the abundance, all the dreams coming true that is supported by our authenticity with who we are. And unfortunately, we don't have a lot of control over our upbringing or our past experiences. So going back over them and cleaning them up, even if it's just an exercise, even if we're aware this is just for us, we're not denying, we're not telling lies, we're not making things up. This is just a space for us to play, to empower ourselves, right? So, all right, we're going to be working first with some salt to cleanse around your auric field, your personal energy, outermost layer, and then going in so we can start to, let's say, exfoliate or soften these imprints, this way that we see ourselves through this upbringing. Oh, I never had money. My family never had money. I come from a long line of not having money, right? Or my house was unstable. This was unstable. I've really had to struggle to maintain any kind of stability in my life. Or I was not heard. I was unseen. I felt invisible. And I've always had to struggle to confirm or validate that, yes, I'm here, right? Like anything at all. These are just examples. But we want to be working through to soften so we can access these before we start creating our new memories or our new perspective here. Quickly, just an apology for the sound in the background. One day I will have the house of my dreams on a quiet street with a studio. Okay. So connecting first over your crown, I have these 2 salt pieces. This pink Himalayan salt. And I'm just gonna start over your crown. You can close your eyes if you like. I'm gonna work down through the core. Let's say through the 3rd eye, throat, heart. You can visualize along if you like. Solar plexus, sacral, and roots. And then around the auric field, as I said. Using the salt to purify, to soften, to tenderize. And by the way, if you feel any emotion come up during the session, just let it out. It's okay. This is a tender topic. If that noise bothers you, just picture summer kids jumping in pools, kids playing tag or manhunt, skipping rope. Alright, I'm going to work a little closer in the consciousness. First, the waking consciousness. Your memories, the lessons you've learned in this life experience thus far. The higher consciousness now, what has impacted the subconscious mind, the subtle conscious mind in your identity? Because your perception of yourself is forming your identity now. So we want to really make sure we're getting this space. Setting that intention to make this space pliable. For the purpose of programming it, or influencing its programs on behalf, again, of your highest and greatest good. I'm gonna go just by your clavicle. Alright, I'm gonna work around the heart. And the solar plexus, your sense of self, your identity, your ego, your power. An important place to focus on here for this session. Your sacral, your area of codependence or apathy for that matter. Your root, your point of stability, security, safety of your physical form and your needs. I'm going to work up through this channel within you to your crown. Your point of connecting to, let's say, all that is. Spiritual energy, subtle energy, the collective. And one more time back. The third eye, the subtle mind. How you see yourself to the future as well. How you think and speak of yourself for the future as well. Okay. We have these shears. any pathway connected to disempowerment, any pathway connected to feeling unloved, not having, not being heard, not being seen, harm done to us in any way from childhood, even in utero, through relationships, anytime in the past. We're going to set intentions, and I invite you to only what you're comfortable with. Perhaps access a memory or a general feeling. Yes, I did feel unloved. Yes, I did feel unseen. Yes, I did feel less than. Yes, I did feel unworthy. Yes, I did take on my parents or my caregivers or this friend or this environment influence, and I know, I feel in my core this has affected me. This influences my identity and inhibits or complicates me becoming who I want to be, me turning that chapter, turning this book into one of total empowerment and creating who I want to be. So I invite you to connect with whatever that might be at whatever comfort level is good for you. And if you don't want to connect with it at all too precisely, you can say, I'm accessing, clearing, cutting, releasing anything from my past that is inhibiting who I am meant to be, for example, or something along the lines of that. So I'm going to use my negative magnet hand and pull those to the surface. Pull them to the outer consciousness. And we're going to pull and cut them away. And you can just relax and let yourself feel lighter, freed, untethered from this perception, these memories. calling in the power of, let's say, the divine, of miracles, of gods, of shift, of movement, of transformation, but also of soothing, of comfort, of nourishing, self-care, growth, okay? And I'm just going to speak to you a little bit as I comb through the areas that we've just trimmed through, cut, released, just to work out anything lingering, and also to kind of like tend to that. So an empowerment and a soothing, a care, a nurturing quality to yourself, because this is heavy work. But I just want to give you a couple of examples on ways you can begin practicing to change your past. As I said, probably the most accepted way of shifting our past is to change our perspective of it. So even if something bad happens to you at any point, but let's talk about the past, we can claim it as a lesson, as a strength we've acquired, as a sort of initiation into the life experience, and manipulate our perspective, because when first something is negative in our life, and as we reflect on what has been, we want to validate, and you should validate. Tell yourself, write it out, tell a friend, tell a therapist how much it sucked, how much you hated it, how much you don't appreciate that, how you felt it was unfair, how you can't imagine doing that to someone else, right? Or whatever it might be. Then, after validation, we're moving to, let's make it work for us. Let me shift my perspective. Let me use the power of mental alchemy, of personal and spiritual alchemy, to shift my perspective. You're not shifting what happened and your memory of what happened in the context of the event, but you're shifting how you perceive it. You can say, for example, everything that happens is working in my favor. Everything that happens, I choose to only let benefit me at this point. Even if I'm late, even if I get in a fender bender, even if someone broke my heart, even if I felt unloved, I trust in myself and the universe that everything is working out for me, and even a setback is some way, even if I can't see it yet, working in my favor. I learn from it. And what greater quality, what greater reward, that's not the right word, treasure is there than lesson, than education. So I'm choosing to allow this to be part of my education. I'm choosing to let it elevate me. I take the lesson from the experience and I let it serve me. Right? We can do that. That's, as long as we're not talking about evil and true harm done, I think that I would suggest therapy for sure. I don't want to speak to that. This can help, but I don't want to speak to that. And still, there's so much power in just shifting our perspective, right? And I'd say that's more or less very accepted. What might be less so is the other avenue. And that is changing your memory. Changing how you talk about it. Changing, more importantly, how you think about it, how you remember it. I'll have to use myself as an example here. But I didn't grow up in the most loving household, nor stable household, nor healthy household. It was quite toxic, quite chaotic, quite unstable. And that's my truth. That's my upbringing. But when it's just for me, because all of my memories are just for me. My parents, perhaps, for example, don't see the memories this way. They remember it differently, which is its own issue, isn't it? But when it's just me and I'm working on this, I close my eyes, I get under the covers, I set my intention, and I choose my own memories. Yes, it's a little bit of a fantasy, but it feels so good, and it fills my consciousness with memories of support, of love, of a unified, well-working household, of trust, being able to trust, being able to love, being able to be very honest without fearing judgment or some kind of punishment for honesty. And I have visions of my parents still together, my mother cooking, which never happened, but my mother cooking, a warmth, a feeling of just being very supported. So, does this change what was true? Who's to say? Because it's all for me, and right now it's all for you. So if you're feeling playful, if you're feeling experimental, I'm going to hold space for you now as I channel through and comb through you to let your imagination play. Settle in, close your eyes, and see it. See the warm hug after school. See the warm meal. See the heartfelt connection that you had with a parent. See the clear communication in the relationship. See the honesty. See it. And imprint that into your subconscious. Let yourself feel good. Do your best not to fight it. There might be some resistance along the way, and that's okay. But practice it. Okay? Keep practicing. Have you got something in your mind yet? I'm just using this gentle giant's, like a tree balm that I think is very healing. And we're going to channel through, and all of this video, all this session is channeling through color, through voice, through intention, through movements. And I'm just going to hold space for you as you play. Envision the home you came home to, the neighborhood you lived in, but again, create it yourself. You're not stuck. Your memories are not stuck. Your memories are something you can completely manipulate, and I've only recently come to really play with that myself. So, but holy moly, the transformations in my life are immediate. I'm talking same day, and yeah, I'm just excited for you. So play and feel whatever it is, whatever area of your life, whatever time frame. You can work with all different ones. See your friend group, see how they were kind to you, listened to you, supported you. See your teachers, how how you loved school, or you loved this course, or you loved this class, or whatever. See yourself without struggle. See yourself with ease. See yourself authentic and celebrated for your authenticity of exactly who you are. See the wealth. See the nurturing, the support, the resources at your fingertips. See yourself utilizing whatever resource you may have needed. And bring it back with you. Connect with it. Know that everything you imagine is something you're creating in your subtle consciousness. And I encourage you to do this many times, because the more you play in this field, the more it develops, the more it imprints, the more quote unquote real it becomes. The more, let's say, elaborate, the more detailed, the more, the less resistance you will feel. If you've struggled with health, let's change that. Let's change your memory. Just for your space, just for this imprint, so that you can support an identity shift into perfect health. See things coming easily to you. Skills, learning languages, friendships, relationships, connections, money, whatever it might be, opportunities. See it coming easily to you. Okay. You could use this really gorgeous natural piece of citrine. I want you to be able to see the color of it, but it's like a soft honey color. Truly beautiful. This is from Monk and Moon. And citrine is a stone that we can work with our ego, our identity, our sense of self. So I'm going to be channeling into the subconscious and lower consciousness as I invite you now to envision, how would things be different right now if we had had that soft household, that sturdy household, that great friend group, that loving family, that rich family, like rich as in variety, rich as in experiences, rich as in tradition, right? Rich as in money. If you want to go there, that's perfectly fine too. What is your identity then here today? Who are you now? If you've shifted who you are, or if that is now your most tangible connection, right? Play with that. Who are you now? Declare your identity. Declare who you are. You are familiar with this, with your past. You are supported by it. It isn't something to overcome. It's something now to playfully allow yourself to manipulate, again, for the best purposes. Not control over anyone else or anything like that, but your own manipulation here. To serve you. To serve your truth. To serve your purpose. To serve your manifestations, your soul development. And it is no longer and never was, let's say, something to get in your way, something to hold you back, something to impede on you in any way. That is no more, it never was. So declare yourself, see yourself, see how you carry yourself, see how you manage your money, see how you hold a discipline over yourself in a good way to become who you're becoming, to act on your impulses. See how your impulses themselves actually shift because your identity has shifted, because you've shifted, transformed your past, your memories. Okay. I'm going to close the session with these beautiful found feathers. These are black stork feathers, a symbol of transformation, of rebirth. Happy birthday. Alright. And I personally love the sound of feathers and the visuals they give, so if you do too, I invite you to just let this good feeling, if you experience ASMR or if this just relaxes you, to linger on this. Give it as much time as you can. Revisit this, whether it's in this video or on your own, but revisit. Let it really sink in. I want to be the first to welcome you into this identity that you control, you decide. Grounding down. You're waking reality. Just gonna fan through. Alright, well, thank you so very much for allowing me to share a little piece of your path tonight. It means the world to me. And thank you so much for being such a significant part of my path. I'm truly honored and so grateful. From the very bottom of my heart, I bow to the divine in you and to these very creative energies that we share, that we connect with as creators. So much love to you.